What's the deal, peeps? It's your boy back with another request video. Don't forget to get your questions in and your requests. I'm gonna try my hardest these next 2 months to get everything in. So go ahead and ask away. Okay, this question is, Coach, should I start off learning to rap similar to the newer artists like Uzis and Lil Babies, or study older artists like Wayne and Hove? And that's a good question. And what I would say to that is, it all depends on the type of music you're making. You know, if you're trying to go for a more old school, not necessarily old school, but a more lyric focused, content focused style, then those are typically the artists you want to discover. If you're trying to make a more modern sound, you typically want to study the newer artists, but the thing about it is mixing the two, mixing the old with the new. That's where you come up with something fresh. If you're just focused on the new, it's gonna just sound like the new shit. But if you take something from the past and you mix it with the newness, you create something totally different. Like, say for instance, A$AP Rocky, okay? A$AP Rocky, a New York artist, could have, easily just emulated, all of the stuff that was in New York at the time, that they were doing. But there was nothing exciting about New York hip hop around the time with him coming up. So what did he do? He went and studied old school Southern rap, old school Houston rap, and Bone Thugs and Harmony, and he took those older elements from the 90s, and he brought it into the new generation over hard-hitting beats with trap drums and samples, but with modern shit talk and modern jigginess, which created something new. So it all depends on what type of gumbo, what type of stew you're trying to cook up for your artistry, and that's where you go. Like me myself, okay, I started off, just studying all the old school rappers, guys from the 90s, everybody from up to Jay-Z, to Wayne, to Biggie, Jeezy, all those guys and everything. And I was very proficient in that style. And as hip hop developed and guys started doing the more melodic auto-tune stuff, the stuff that I was doing, it was good, but it needed to be modernized. So I had to learn how to do the punch-in style, how to do that type of stuff, and implement it already into the stuff I have now, because I took the time out in the beginning to study hip-hop and real rappers and everything, and classic hip-hop. That never left me, so that sticks with me in my creation of modern music. So it really, the answer really is, study everything and take what you like from wherever and then put it together. Because if you're just focused on the modern stuff, the Lil Babies, the Uzis, the Juice WRLDs, you're not getting the full spectrum. You're not getting the full picture, especially because those guys, I can guarantee you, they studied the classics. Up into Juice WRLD, up into Lil Uzi, all those guys, they studied the classics. It might not seem like it, but it's a reason why they're so good. They studied the bar of excellence that was set in the 90s, in the early 2000s. You kind of can't discount that if you guys are trying to be, really good. Now, if you're trying to be mediocre, or you're trying to be okay, then you don't have to deep dive into that stuff. But if you're trying to be great, then I think you're doing yourself a great disservice if you don't study the former type of music from the 90s and the early 2000s up into the modern music, and even other genres from R&B to rock to pop. Just open up your palette. A guy who only listens to straight gangster rap is not gonna have as good a musical taste as the guy who listens to gangster rap, pop music, rock music, punk music. You know what I'm saying? It's just. And that's pretty much it, man. I hope this question, I hope this video helped kind of answer your question. I'll holler at you. Peace.